Hello everybody, my name is Dmytro Shytyi, and today we are going to show you how to run the Linux kernel module with Lite, DHCPv6 and NDP implementation that is called KD6-DANIR. So, what we have here? We have four main windows. Each window is represented by the virtual machine. And each virtual machine plays a role. For example, on the left side we have the virtual machine that is playing the requesting router role. Here we have the virtual machine that is playing the server role, DHCP server role, and basically it's running the ISC DHCP server. And also we have two client roles. So the idea here is that first we start the server role, and after it will spread the network prefix to the requesting router. And when the requesting router receives this prefix, it retrieves sub-prefixes, sub-networks, that it will assign to the interfaces. This implementation supports up to 10 interfaces, and it could be extended. So basically, here we have each interface that is basically configured with IP address, with a prefix that was retrieved from the main GUNP, global unique prefix. And after, the requesting router is functioning in two modes. The first mode, in some period of times, it sends a router advertisement via multicast, and also the clients could send the router solicitation on the interfaces of the router, and requesting router will respond with router advertisement on the unicast. So let's start the demo. Here we see that we are starting the DHCP server. We started it on the NP0S8, and we have this prefix 48. After that, we are running the requesting router. Basically, this is the implementation of the Linux kernel model in this virtual machine. So we compile it to show that there are no errors. Yes, and after we go to the build directory and we insert model. We perform insert model, the name of the model, the role, the type of activation of the interfaces. You could choose, for the moment it's not yet implemented, but in future you will be able to choose between all interfaces or specific interfaces. For the moment we are using the specific interfaces, so with the role requesting router, that is matching to number 2. And after we specify the one interface, one wide area network interface, that is NP0S8, that is connected to the DHCP server. And after we are specifying the two LAN interfaces, local area network interfaces, NP0S9 and NP0S10. So here we have client 1 that is connected to the NP0S9 and client 2 that is connected to the NP0S10. So what we are doing, we check the configuration of the IPv6 addresses. So what we will do, we will disable it. So here we are. So basically Ethernet 0 now is down and doesn't have any IP address, and the second client is The second one is also down, NP0S3. So what we are doing, we are launching the requesting router, and on the bottom we are going to see the log from KD message, D message. So let's start the requesting router. Now we are seeing that on the requesting router we started initializing the devices, and after we see that from device interface NP0S8 we are sending the solicit from error to service route to server, from requesting router to server. And after we see that server responds with advertising of the prefix delegation address with 2000. So basically it generates from 48 the 56 prefixes. And after the requesting router is going to assign the received prefix, retrieve sub-prefixes from this prefix and assign them to the device interfaces. So basically here we have two devices, NP9 and NP0S9 and NP0S10. So we have assigned both 2001 and 2002. So let's check the IP show. So NP0S10 it has 2002 and NP0S9 has 2001. Part of the network prefix. So basically after the next step for requesting router is configuration of the default routes, and after that it starts sending the multicast to the clients, but for the moment our clients have disabled the interfaces. So IPA down. By the way, here we can see that we started successfully the kernel model, and now when we perform RM mode KD6-LKM.co, we will see that we successfully finish its execution. We have to run it with sudo. Here we are. We perform the cleanup of the net filter hook, and we finish the thread. So the next step is to configure the IPv6 forwarding. We configure it with this command, and also we will need the Wireshark. The Wireshark, for example, running on the NP0S9. So we start one more time the requesting router, the Linux kernel module, and in this case when the forwarding is activated, the requesting router, the Linux kernel module KD6-DANIR operates in two ways. The first is a multicast that is sent in some period of times, router advertisement, and the second one is a router advertisement that is unicast, that is sent based on the received router solicitations from the clients. So we run the same command. We launch the Linux kernel module on the three interfaces. First is NP0S8 that is going to wide area network, and two others for local area network. We see that there are no problems, and the second part was solicited. The second part, that means another message was sent by the requesting router to the server, and server got the response. And server sends the response to the requesting router. We could see it here. Basically, this is sending solicit from requesting router to the server, receiving the advertise from the server, send request, and we are waiting for reply here, and I think the reply is basically received, so we could configure the interface. So in this case, I mentioned the second time, we are able to perform in two modes. First is array unicast, and second array multicast. So let's try to check the array unicast. First we check the IP addresses, that everything is good. 2001, 2002. Okay. Here we see the router advertisement on the multicast. And when we activate the client, we see exchange. We can notice the router solicitation, and after router advertisement, that is actually the unicast. So basically it's sent to the client directly. So here we could see that we support multiple modes. First is a router advertisement on the multicast address to all the nodes. And the second is router advertisement to the unicast address. So thank you very much for watching this video, and have a nice day. Hope you enjoyed.